Hey everyone, my name is Zach Starr, and today I'm going to share with you 5 tips and tricks that are guaranteed to make you feel more comfortable in front of the camera. Before I do that, I have to say this is not endorsed by Grant Baldwin or the Speaker Lab. As a booked and paid to speak community member, I've been searching for a way to add value to the group and a way to help others. So after seeing a few posts about video and people having questions, what tools to use, how to be authentic on video, I decided to make this post. I've also been contacted by friends in the sales world as well as nurses lately. A lot of nurses have to submit video now for further education. So video is not going anywhere. If you're not doing it yet, I want you to think about these 2 facts. The first, Cisco did a report and they said in 2019, by 2019, which is not that far away, 80% of internet traffic will be consumed through video. That is mind-blowing. So video is not going anywhere. The second thing to think about is video is the best way to engage with your audience and show them your true authentic self. If you have a book, if you have a blog, that's great, but they're reading it in their own voice. If you're on radio interviews or you have a podcast, that's better, but it's still not as good as video. In video, they get to see you, they get to see your mannerisms, they get to see your facial expressions, hear your voice, see your tempo. The only thing better than video really is being there in person. And as speakers, we all know how scalable that is. So video is here to stay. I have a passion for video because I've been a professional actor for 12 years. So I've worked on films, TV commercials, and training videos, we call industrials, for large corporations and small. 6 of the companies I've worked for are still in Forbes top 50, but I've also worked on smaller projects. So I bring 12 years of acting experience, but I also bring my vlogging experience. And I started that in 2015 when I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail from Mexico to Canada and just talked to my camera every day like it was a person. And I have to tell you, that is entirely different than professional acting with a script and a camera crew. So they're both different. So I bring 12 years of professional acting experience and I bring 2 years of vlogging, mash those together, and I'm bringing you 5 tips and tricks to help you feel more comfortable in front of the camera. Okay, now this will be quick, and I know I'm speaking very fast, faster than usual, because I want to put this in a concise, shorter video for you, but there's a lot of content. I've done research, and most of the content out there on the internet about this topic is talk to the camera like a person, do jumping jacks before you go on camera, wear comfy clothes. Like, that's not actionable advice. Okay, so what we're talking about today are actionable tips that you can use that I guarantee will increase your authenticity through the camera lens. So the first thing to talk about is the camera lens. Most people don't realize it is a black hole. It is a life-sucking black hole. And what I mean by that is the camera will suck your energy down. So if you have a presentation or you're in front of the camera and you feel like your energy's here, when it comes out on the other end, I guarantee it's 20% less. So if you need to be here, you have to increase your energy level before. Well, how do I do that without doing jumping jacks? Well, I'll get to that in a second. But the second part of what the camera does is, just like it sucks your energy, it also sucks away some of our walls that we tend to put up. And we all do this. So you've seen videos out there that somebody's talking to the camera and it feels like they're talking to a wall or somebody else, and you're like, hey, I'm right here, just be normal. It's because people don't know how to do that. So remember, it sucks the energy and it also strips away some of your walls, and people will see you for who you really are. So how do we increase our probability of becoming authentic on camera? I want you to think about something you're passionate about. If you're a speaker out there, or you've written a book, or you're in sales, there's something you're passionate about. Think of that. And it changes your whole aura. It changes your face and your presentation and everything about you and your body language. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying speak on what you're passionate about. I could sit here and talk about tree frogs in Africa, and my energy level and everything is enthusiastic because I'm thinking about being on my adventure motorcycle in Africa, right? So you don't have to be speaking about what you're passionate about. Just infuse what you're passionate about and let that come in behind your eyes. So that's the first tip. It is a black hole. It will suck your energy and take away some of your protective layers. So remember that. The second one are tools. Most of us are notoriously bad when we want to do video that we haven't set it up, we have not practiced, and it has to get pushed out now. And so what we do is we look for tips or shortcuts. Now the 3 shortcuts that most people go for are the teleprompter, the ear prompter, and the cue card. I'm going to tell you why all 3 are not what you need. All right, for those of you who are speakers, I want you to think about a teleprompter. A teleprompter is a piece of glass that goes over the camera and it reflects the words, and you're basically reading your presentation. If you're a speaker out there and a corporation contacted you and said, hey Joe, we don't have $3,000 to pay your fee. What we'd like to do is offer you $200 and we'll have one of our associates read your transcript to our audience. Would you do that? I hope not, because Grant Boland's probably going to come after you if you would, right? You have to infuse you. And if you are reading a teleprompter, that's not happening. Now, I know what some of you are saying or thinking. It's my speech. I just need the teleprompter for little tips, like if I forget a word or something. But I have to tell you guys, you've already violated step number 1, right? If you're reading, you're not focusing on what you're passionate about and your energy level. And so that comes down a notch. And then you're not being authentic because you're worried about the words. And so that comes down. So guys, get rid of the teleprompter. Through the rest of the tips, you will realize you don't need it. The second is an ear prompter, which is basically an MP3 player with a wire, or they have wireless that go over your ear and in your ear. If you even consider doing this, basically you play your speech that you've pre-recorded and you say it as it's playing in your own head. I believe it was Michael Port who said he has the ability to step back from his performance as he's giving it and see his performance and evaluate it. That is a master level of skill. Okay, so if you've even thought about ear prompter, I want you to turn on your radio in your car the next time you're driving. I want you to pay attention to driving on the road, and I also want you to listen to everything that's being said in the radio and repeat it back word for word without missing one, with authenticity and emotion. It is very difficult. It is not for just personable videos, okay? If you have heavy content, that's fine, but just don't use it. And the other one are cue cards. Cue cards they're long, they're lengthy, they're over here, so you've broken eye contact. If you need anything, my hack is to put a card just hanging underneath the camera, if you need it, and write 1 word, bullet points. Okay, so I have my 5 points hanging underneath the camera, but usually you don't need it. If you need to glance down, it's a quick glance down and then you're back and your vision has already scanned those 5 things. And so you can recall it when you need to without looking again. 1 word, that's the hack. Look at it right before you go on camera and then you shouldn't need to address it again. Okay, so we have 2 tips. Number 3 is, who are you talking to? You know, in the speaking world, we say that all the time. Who are you talking to? Know your audience. But I want to get a little more specific than that. In camera work, you have to pick 1 person. So everybody do this. I want everybody to close your eyes. I'll do it too, if it makes you feel more comfortable. Close your eyes. And I want you to think about your best friend. Not any friend, not a best friend, the best friend that you have the easiest conversation with. You can talk about anything. You can be open. You can be yourself. You can be vulnerable. Okay, open. Mine, if you didn't just see it, is my best friend Brandon. We've been friends since high school. I know he doesn't judge me. We can talk about anything. All right? So I'm going to talk specifically to Brandon, not just to anybody. That's where the authenticity comes in through the camera lens. Guys, you cannot skimp on this. You have to be very specific on who it is you're talking to. Now, a life hack for that is, if you need to, when you first start out, set your camera up, sit where you're going to record, call your best friend and say, hey, I'm about to do a video. I want to test this out. Here are the 5 points I'm talking about, or here's some of the content. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Get in that zone of talking to them, hang up, and then hit record and start recording right away. That will get easier and the camera will eventually become a person. So step 1, black hole, it will suck your energy and your walls out. Step 2, tools, you don't need them. Bullet points, that's it. Step 3, who are you talking to? Your best friend. Now the reason that works is, if you think about it, when we have a best friend and we communicate with them, we're naked. So step 4 is get naked. Now, let's definitely keep this metaphorical at this point, okay? Get naked. Be yourself. People like you if they're in your friend network because of who you are, and you need to bring that to the camera. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to put on a front or have a personality persona. Just be yourself. And I promise you, your audience will reward you for that. So just be naked. And the last one, step number 5, are the 2 T's: tempo and texture. Think about art. If there was a picture with just one color on the canvas, it really wouldn't be art. Art is different colors thrown on canvas because that's the texture. If you think about music, it just doesn't play a note right across. Music goes up and down and up and down, and it has crescendos and whatever other music stuff they have. If you think about a tap dancer, who just does the fast thing the entire time, it's not enjoyable. So add tempo and texture changes to your presentation, and it will keep your audience engaged. Okay, my time's almost up. Let's just go over this real quick. There's a black hole. It'll suck your energy down and strip some of your walls. Number 2, tools, you don't need them. Just 5 bullet points or whatever bullet points you need for your thing, 1 word each. Number 3 is, who are you talking to? Pick your best friend for now. Number 4 is, see, I had to look at mine. Get naked. Oh, how do I forget that? Get naked and be authentic. And number 5, the 2 T's, tempo and texture. Guys, this will help. Leave a comment in the comment section underneath and let me know of your success with this. And all I want to say is thank you, Grant Baldwin, for everything you've done with the Speaker Lab podcast and Booked and Paid to Speak. You are changing lives, and I will see you guys on the stage.